I'm Ivan Gomez and I do the show Speaker TV. Initially, I was attracted to work in television for my love of music. I couldn't dance, I couldn't sing, but I had a real passion. In my previous life in fashion, I used to work as a stylist and producer on tours and concerts. And there was a lot that my friends in the industry wanted to say, and there was a massive gap with how they could say that. And that gap seems to get, that is actually getting smaller as we go. There's not a lot of platforms for them, and that's where I think Speaker's filling that void. Speaker, initially as a concept, was a show that I was going to take to Channel 9, and there was interest, and the interest came from the production, one of the production companies under Channel 9, and they asked me to quit my job and come do the show, and I'm like, well, what if the show doesn't work? And I don't have a job, because I used to run a fashion company, and I just couldn't just wrap it up for the sake of following this dream. So I basically just filed it under good idea, but wrong time. And then eventually, when the time came about, I just took the leap, and here we are. Like, I just started Speaker, about 5 years ago. Yeah, and it's an evolving pet project. The most memorable guest on Speaker, I honestly couldn't give you one. We've had. We've been really fortunate from the start. We've had some amazing industry support, so it's allowed us to interview a huge amount of local and international stars. But if I had to say someone close to my heart, was my very first interview was with the Temper Trap. I just remember interviewing them, going downstairs, not thinking anything of it, but then seeing them perform and looking at my then girlfriend at the time, now mother of my child, going, oh my God, these guys are going to be massive. And sure enough, they've just gone and taken the world by storm, and that's a really special thing. Because that's why I set Speaker up. I'm not saying we put them on the map, but it was nice that we were there at that launch pad together. And yeah, we've interviewed like a huge amount of artists, but that would be a special one. With Speaker, the way we look at it is, we're like on the edge of mainstream, so we're never out looking for the Katy Perrys of the world. We're not looking for, basically, if it's on Fox Nova, good on you, that's not a bad thing, but that's not necessarily a space for us to play in. We're always looking for both local and international artists that have their own niche in the music landscape that are probably not going to get on those networks anyway, which works well for us because it makes us high priority for their publicists, their record labels. And as evolution goes and as things progress, a lot of artists that we promote on Speaker do end up on those stations, but that's just the way it is. It's the nature of the beast. That that when they get a bit of traction, they're interested because it means something to them from a commercial perspective. My advice for anyone that wants to start out a show, whether it be on 31 or even just on the internet, is to have, basically it's going to be a passionate thing that drives you. The passion needs to come first, second and third, because if you think you're going to just put yourself up because especially we get calls every week and emails, oh, you're looking for a presenter? And the answer is no, we're not looking for a presenter, we never will be. It's not who we are as a show, that's not how we're built. Our whole premise is we're artists as the star. So from the very start, our content is all about the subject, who we're interviewing, and that's it, not about anything else. And we've tampered with it, but we've really quickly pulled out of it. Anyway, back to the point, my advice is to be really passionate about what you want to do and have other ways of having revenue come through into your life to pay for petrol in your car and pay the bills, because the reality is 5 years on, Speaker TV still has never made a cent. I guess I like the idea of, being a part of a movement, and why I like being a part of community television is that it is that, you're basically a voice almost for a different segment in the market, obviously, that the mainstream aren't interested in. So we are representing something that's unique in that sense, and also, having the freedom to produce the content that you want to produce as a complete independent. You don't have someone in marketing or sales or anyone telling you what you can and can't do. So again, you're able to be quite true to your own brand and let that evolve.